Dan Proft back with Michael Lucci, Vice President of Policy at the Illinois Policy Institute. And Mike, it looks like I'm going to have to go to Northwest Indiana to buy my Grape Crush in bulk if I don't want to get hit in the pocketbook again by the Cook County government. What's going on there?
Cook County is once again trying to fix the spending problem by raising new tax revenues, and this time they're trying to do it by putting a tax on soda or any other types of sugary drinks. The interesting thing here, as with many taxes in Illinois, is this one is specifically targeted at lower income people. And this is a normal outcome when you have large and growing government. There are fewer and fewer things to tax, and so you end up taxing things that are consumed more by lower income people. It becomes what's called a regressive tax system. That's the consequence of having large government. You just have these regressive results where poor people have a harder time to get along here. And
so this soda tax, we call it pop, by the way. I don't know why they keep calling it a soda tax. It's called pop in Chicago. You want to go to the South, then you can call it soda. Here, you call it pop. It's just more. This is the vocabulary of our enemies we're adopting. So no more soda. It's pop here. But give us the details on this pop tax that Preckwinkle and Little Lord Fauntleroy Bloomberg from New York City have conspired to impose, and then some specifics about, just the nature of the regressivity of it, who it impacts the most.
So they want to put a penny per ounce tax on pop. So if you're thinking about a can, which is 12 ounces, there's going to be 12 cents tax added to a can of Coke or whatever your drink is. And as it turns out, according to Gallup polling, the folks who consume more of this tend to have lower incomes. For example, 45% of people with incomes below $30,000 drink, these sugary drinks. A third of people with incomes from $30,000 to $75,000 drink sugary drinks or pop, and then only 1/5 of people with income above $75,000 actually drink pop. So this tax they know that this is going to go after people with lower incomes, and they simply don't care.
Yeah, as long as they don't put a tax on a sugary drink called bourbon, then I'll be pretty happy with that. But here's the thing. The other thing that happens, two things, right? One, there's elasticity of demand. And so people will go to neighboring counties or, in Illinois, neighboring states to buy these goods that are overtaxed in Cook County. We've seen that with, for example, the cigarette taxes.
Right. I actually used to work in an area of Chicago where there would be someone selling individual cigarettes, and he would be selling them at the price per cigarette that a pack of cigarettes would be. So if cigarettes are $10 a pack here, that breaks down to 50 cents a cigarette. And there would be someone on the corner every day selling individual cigarettes for 50 cents each. And I would always wonder, how's he making money on this? He's buying them for 50 cents each, selling them for 50 cents each. That's not the case. He was buying them for probably 30 cents each in Indiana,
right,
bringing them across the border, and then selling them individually on a corner in Chicago.
That's incredible. Chicago's economy is driven by arbitraging our tax system with respect to neighboring counties and neighboring states. And the other thing about this is, like the tobacco tax, one, it won't realize the revenue they project because they analyze things statically, does the government. And so they project a much bigger number than it actually turns out because people respond to the incentives they're presented with, and they will do what we're just describing. The other thing is, this is one of those taxes where the government comes in and says, we're taxing you because this is bad for you, so don't do it, except at the same time, they're counting on you to do it because they have already budgeted for and spent the revenue they expect to realize. So it's predatory government.
Right. So if you actually stop doing this, if you do what the government says they want, which is stop drinking your Coca-Cola, then they're going to have to find some new way to tax you. They're going to have to come back, and maybe they're going to tax hamburgers next, or whatever it's going to be, whatever they think they can sell as being good for your health. But it's a silly way to govern, like chasing people around, taxing this thing that they do because we think it's a sin, then taxing the next thing, then taxing the other thing. The problem here is they keep spending more money at the county level, and they don't want to fix that. The salaries for county workers keep going up, and they don't want to fix that. Meanwhile, the salaries of private sector workers are stagnating, even going down. Job opportunities are going down, yet they keep taxing these people who have fewer and fewer opportunities in the private economy in order to keep spending money on the government side of it.
Right. So the ruling class in Cook County and Chicago, just understand this, folks. They want you to drink pop all the time. Drink more pop. They want you to smoke cigarettes. They want you to blow through red lights because they've budgeted for and spent the money they expect to realize from being predatory with respect to your habits in these areas. That's number one. And then number two, so much political capital is spent and time is spent focused on these things with respect to the structural deficits and debt that Cook County, the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois face. These things are driplets in the bucket in terms of the revenue they expect to generate. Driplets. This will pay for a couple of Cook County workers making $100,000 in their pensions. This sugar drink tax, right?
That's right. And it was interesting that the other proposals that are coming along in this Cook County budget is one to give the Cook County council members a couple $100,000 each to spend on local projects. That's a new proposal to help them go along with this tax. So not only are we going to put this tax towards spending that's not necessarily needed at the county level, we're going to spike it by saying, and we're going to give the council members slush funds that they could spend in their areas to help curry political favor with people who might not like the idea of this tax. So what they never really ask is, where can we cut? Because that's what's needed. You can't just keep taxing Chicagoans, Cook County people, and then the state of Illinois in general. People are moving out. People are moving out, Cook, out of Chicago, out of the state. It's a losing strategy. You can't keep doing it. They're going to need to turn around and say, how do we restructure government so it's affordable for our taxpayers?
But those